What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Let's get straight into this one, man. So as you guys can see from the title, I'm doing another mod to the Z, and what that mod is I'm going to be customizing my Morimoto headlights that I've had on the car pretty much since I bought it, honestly. So over 2 years at this point. I have customized these before. I did a triple demon eye look on them. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that. But I just never really used them. I felt like they were kind of missing something else. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert the white DRL here that goes here, and obviously on the other one there, I'm gonna convert it to RGB with addressable LED strips. So the ones I'm using, I actually sourced myself. If you guys are brand new to the channel or brand new to, follow me on Instagram or whatever, then you probably don't know that I run a retrofitting business on the side. Been doing it for about a year now. So I customize headlights, I customize tail lights on the side for people. And yeah, so I definitely have experience doing this stuff. So this video is kind of gonna be showing you guys obviously the final product, but also kind of explaining the process of what you need to do to actually customize your headlights, because I'm not trying to gatekeep. At the end of the day, if you want to pay me to do them for you, I can obviously do them. But if you want to save money, do them yourself, then I hope this video helps you out. So we're going to be changing that DRL to RGB. We're going to be blacking out this reflector and then also changing the lens out, because you can see my lenses are, yeah, those are cooked. They basically have micro cracks all along the actual lens. So you can see there, cracks all over the lens. Doesn't come off because it's actually in the actual lens itself. So we're going to replace the lenses, we're going to black those reflectors out, and we're going to do the RGB DRL with something that's called a Blueghozt controller. All right, so at this point you have your headlights off. Go ahead and bring them inside, honestly, or do it outside, it doesn't matter. But wherever you're working on, I like to put a soft mat that is not going to scratch the lens whenever we face it down. Obviously my lenses are cooked. You can see they're just all yellow and they have all these cracks. So I don't really care about these lenses, but in your case, if you care about them, make sure that you put something soft down. Next thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna remove these screws all along the headlight. So I already removed one here. You can see this is what normally goes in there. And this screw is actually what holds the lens to the plastic housing. I think there's 6 around the headlights. You're gonna have one here. You're gonna have one right there. You're gonna have a few more around here. And yeah, you just wanna make sure you remove all those, because that is what actually holds your lens to this housing. If you don't remove those and you try to open your headlights, I guarantee you that you're gonna damage your lenses or damage the actual plastic housing. So remove that. After you do that, you wanna turn your headlight over here and you wanna remove your ballast. These things are meant to get super hot, but I like to remove them because, it's kind of better safe than sorry, right? Remove this plastic support right here. You don't want this to burn. And after that, I just go ahead and I zip tie my wires up high just so that they don't get burnt in the oven. Ignore this wire. This is what powers the demon eyes on my headlights, because I have customized them before. So you're not going to have this. Ignore this for now. I got my oven open here. You want to try to put it as low as you can so that there can be as much space for the headlight to sit. So in my oven here, obviously every oven's different, but you just put bake, and then I drop the temperature down to about 215 is what I do. And then I'll go ahead and just start it here so it could preheat. I'm gonna close this. And then once it's done preheating is when you insert the headlights. You never wanna put the headlights in when it's preheating, because I guarantee you that you're gonna melt something with the headlights, because the oven gets super hot when it's preheating, right? So after it's done preheating, I'm gonna put these planks in there, insert the headlight, and then yeah, we'll let it cook for about 10 minutes. You wanna make sure that if you're using an oven that you always use for your food or stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. I would recommend just grabbing a heat gun and manually heating the outside of the headlight yourself. But this is what I do because we pretty much never use this oven. So I'm never gonna mix all these chemical smells with food. So keep that in mind, but I'm gonna let this preheat. We're gonna stick the headlight in there, and then I'll show you guys what I do to actually get it open. All right, so ignore my really bad lenses, but you can see I got this headlight kind of mostly open. You can see the gap there. So I gotta give you guys a tip here. What I use to open these headlights is this tool right here. So This is, you can buy it on Amazon. I'll link it down below. It's basically a spreader tool. So when you click it, it spreads and you're able to spread the actual plastic housing from the lens, right? So what I do is once I've got a little gap with my hands, I will come in here and into that gap and I will basically spread the lens, right? But you want to put very little pressure on this, because if you're jamming it in there and kind of forcing the headlight to come open, you're going to bend the plastic part and that will cause you to have leaks over time. So after that, what I do is I take a pick tool like this and I remove the excess glue that is holding this lens to the plastic housing, right? Because all that glue is keeping it from coming apart. So once I remove most of it, you're gonna see here that this lens is pretty much gonna start coming up. So you can see it's fully separated at this point. All around, it's coming off. So you just kind of tug on it on every corner and you can see it's coming up. All right, so I got the housing off. You can see it's all scratched and fingerprints everywhere because I've been touching it. So make sure you clean all this before you put it back. But anyways, I'm gonna remove this reflector right now. And to do that, this whole thing comes off as one piece. So what I'm gonna do, you only have to remove these 3 screws right here. So you remove one there, then another one right there. The camera decides to focus, and then the last one is this one right here. So if we remove that one, just try to get this to focus. Okay, it's not focusing, but anyways, you take those 3 out. So I'm gonna take this one out, that one out, this one out. Make sure you save all these screws because you're gonna need them, obviously. So once you get those out, you can pretty much slide this thing up. So I'm not gonna be able to do this while holding the camera, but now that those screws are off, you literally just slide this assembly up, because you see it's like sitting right here in these grooves. So you slide it up and the whole thing comes off. I'm taking this off because I'm gonna paint this gloss black, the whole thing, to match the rest of the housing. And then to get the actual factory PCB off, this is what lights up white and then yellow for the turn signal. We're obviously deleting all this because I'm replacing it with this. So if you guys are curious what I'm doing, I'm replacing it with these LEDs right here. So these are some very, very bright RGB LEDs, and they can be cut every 3 LEDs. You guys can see in the lines there. So this isn't gonna fit like this because it's a rigid strip. So I'm gonna have to cut strips and wire them together so that I can kind of conform to the shape of this chrome piece right here. I'll show you guys what I mean more when I get all this off. But to get this off, you're just removing every one of these plastic clips. You're removing right here, and then this one all the way at the top, and then this whole thing will slide off with the wiring harness. Then obviously either remove these or cut these zip ties and the whole thing's gonna come apart. All right guys, we're hopping back into the video. So you can see I am doing some testing right now to kind of see how everything looks. And I got this one pretty much done, all set up. Yeah guys, this looks sick. I mean, I have the flash on, so it's definitely not as bright as in person, but these are really, really bright. I mean, these strips, for those of you who don't know, they get 12-volt power and they're super bright because there's 3 LEDs per like section of strips. So these are just as bright, if not brighter, than the OEM, well, the Morimoto LEDs. So very, very happy about that. You can see the strip looks nice and uniform all across. There's no dead spots anywhere where it's like black and just missing light. Goes all the way perfectly from the very bottom to the top. And I also added this little touch right here. I think it looks pretty good. I've never seen anybody do it here. I wanted to add a little touch there because usually that's where that orange light is for your parking light, but I don't know, I didn't really like that, so I switched it out for the same type of strips that I'm using, and I think it looks pretty good. You know, I think it's kind of a nice touch to the side right there. But yeah, for those of you that are wondering, I did skip around a lot in this video, and it's just because honestly this was a lot more work than I anticipated, but so far I'm getting it done. So at this point you can see I've blacked out the reflector here on the side. I still need to clean this whole thing because my fingerprints are all over it, but the way that I did the strip is like this. So this chrome piece right here, all this chrome is what reflects the light onto this crystallized piece right here. So Yeah, I mean, you could put a strip directly in here, but then you're gonna see that strip like through here, and it's not gonna look good. I wanted these to look like if they came from Morimoto like this, right? So what I did was I basically built a custom kind of PCB out of the strip that I have. So on these strips, you can see you're able to cut them every 3 LEDs, and then you can solder on wires and stuff to make kind of your own custom design. So this isn't perfect, and I'm sure there's a much better way to do this, but this is the way that did it for me, and so far it seems to be working. So you can see I basically have the LEDs going right into the holes that illuminate that chrome. So I have a strip that starts off here, I cut it, and then I solder wires, and I pretty much do the same thing all along. Here I had to use some hard pins to make that curve, that 45-degree curve, and then same thing, it goes all the way up, so it covers every single box right here, which means that when this turns on, you get a nice effect like that where everything is nice and even. So that's that. I also have this here, this little 3 LED one, which that is actually what this is. You can see in there, that's what lights up this whole part. So I'm not going to be able to explain exactly how to do this. Honestly, if you're not experienced with soldering or doing kind of custom lighting like this, I would say that this would probably be pretty difficult for you to do. But I mean, you can see the way I secured it is I used fishing line to just keep the board down, and then I put epoxy in different spots to kind of keep the board in place. With these rigid strips, you want to make sure they're not moving constantly, because if they are, they will break. But you can see mine are pretty sturdy, right? So I just use fishing line all around because this stuff holds great. It's super thin, so it's not like really bulky or anything. And yeah, for this I just use some wiring, and then I just kind of epoxy it right there to make it stay on. So looks pretty good so far. I'm definitely happy with the results, but at this point I'm going to put everything back together. I'm going to pretty much put the entire headlight back on, and then I'll show you guys when everything is fully done with the new lenses and everything. All right, guys, so apologies for the bad quality, but I just got a chance to come out and kind of show you guys how this car looks now that it has the bumper on and the new headlights and everything. So I have my Blueghozt app here ready to kind of go. If you guys aren't familiar with Blueghozt, it's literally like having like a jailbroken iPhone. This is an app that you can do like custom effects, not even just RGB. You could literally just do like any color you want, whenever you want, pretty much. It's super cool. So if I turn on this one, this is actually one of my favorite modes. So believe it or not, I'm not a huge fan of RGB, and go ahead and roast me in the comments. I know you guys are probably wondering, well, then why would you even do your headlights? Honestly, it's mostly for stuff like this. Like, I like something simple like this, like red and white, you know, nothing too crazy, doesn't look too tacky. But I mean, standing from like back here, I just ran over a bunch of shit on the road. But anyways, like from right here, just look how aggressive it looks. It looks so good. And being able to do like scanning animations like this, it's unique in my opinion. And obviously I kind of want to promote my business. I want to show people what I can do and stuff. And I've been wanting to do my headlights for a long time. So yeah, but I can do crazy, you know, like super crazy RGB like this, but I'll never do this. I am not a huge fan of this at all. I like the more simple stuff, but I also can do a yellow DRL. The camera's not picking it up at all, but the reason that I wanted to do this mainly is also because of the yellow DRLs. I will be wrapping this car soon, and the color that I'm going to do is going to match very, very well with yellow DRLs. So that's mainly why I wanted to do it as well. But yeah, guys, I'm super happy with it. Even on the Blueghozt app, I can do like custom turn signal effects, and then I can do like custom DRL stuff. It's just super cool. Like the way that you can customize these headlights once they're fully done and play with the app and all that, it's just so good. There's nothing like it out there for sure. So yeah, you can do like crazy thing, look like a carnival ride. But yeah, I'm super happy with it, guys. Definitely drop a comment down below. Let me know if you think this is something you would do to your car. Do you think it's a little tacky? You know, whatever you want to say, just drop it down in the comments. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in to another video. I kind of tried to show as much as I could of the process of making these headlights, but As you guys can probably tell, it is definitely not easy to do a clean job. I always want to make sure that I'm doing the cleanest job. I mean, you can see like brand new lenses, and even if you're looking in the lenses, like there's not any dust or anything weird inside there. That's how it should be, in my opinion, especially if you're paying money for stuff like this. Like, you need to make sure this stuff comes out clean. But anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in to another video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.